excuse this. I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I was just inspired to stop and take this video. Hey, so it's May and I have barely weighed myself this month. I've thought about weighing myself, but I have barely weighed myself. So I'm really curious how the May weigh check-in is gonna go, but I'm not worried about it right this moment. I know that I'm working on getting healthy from a lot of fronts, from my relationship with food and my relationship with the scale, and just dealing with trauma and things and mental health that goes along with all of this. So to that point, I have had a few times recently when I thought about weighing myself, especially one day that I walked in to the bathroom in first thing in the morning, which is the time that I would normally weigh myself. I looked in the mirror and I thought, you look cute. I thought I looked nice. Sometimes I relate that to, well, you must have lost some weight. That must be what you're responding to. So that's kind of where my brain went. And I immediately thought, okay, let me break out the scale. But I stopped myself. And the reason I stopped myself was I imagined how I would feel if I stood on the scale and the weight went up. The number went up from where it was before. I was sort of just gauging my resilience, where I was mentally, just checking in. And when I did that check-in, I realized that in that moment, if the weight was higher than it was previously, I processed how would I feel, like what would my reaction be? And immediately I could feel that my reaction would probably be to either restrict or to binge, or restrict and then binge. So I didn't get on the scale. I've had a number of times where that's happened this month, where I've thought, hey, I'm gonna check in, and before I go to grab for the scale, I stop myself and check in, and just do like a gut check, see where I am emotionally, mentally, and say to myself, ask myself the question, if that weight goes up, how are you feeling? How would you respond? Because there are days when I think, well, if it goes up, then I have some information or whatever, or like, I don't know. There are days when I can deal with it more, when it's not going to ruin my mood and ruin my day. But I'm just kind of checking in with myself a lot more, especially as I'm working with coming to peace with food and allowing myself to eat foods that I used to be pretty restrictive with. So I know that there's a chance that the scale could have gone up, my weight could have gone up, because I'm letting myself eat, what I used to label as bad foods, and I'm not putting restrictions on it right now to sort of work on working on my relationship with food. I'll go into that probably in a different video. So yeah, so that's something I'm doing. I definitely want to stay on track and be paying attention to how much I am, like my progress weight-wise, my progress health-wise in general. And for me, I believe that weight is part of that overall process. Just like I would imagine that someone who's on the other end of the scale, who's severely underweight, I wouldn't want that person to be overly concerned about the number on the scale. However, getting to a healthier weight would show potentially, I don't want to speak for anyone, this is not my area of expertise, but could potentially show progress in their journey to get healthier. So I will have a weight check-in, I will do that, but I just think it's going to be fewer check-ins. It might be like 2 times I check in this month, I don't know, but that might be okay, because I'm just going to prioritize my mental health over checking in on my weight this month. That's something really new for me to do, and it feels actually really nice in the moment. It feels really nice when I think, okay, I better get that scale out and check how much I weigh, and for me to stop and check in with myself and say, how am I feeling right now? How is this going to affect me mentally? How is this going to affect me for the next hour, for this day, for like, that is such a loving, loving, caring thing that I haven't really done before. So I'm calling that a non-scale win in this whole journey, and I'm pretty excited about that. And at the same time, I want to lose weight. I want to be getting healthy. So it's a complicated thing, this whole progress. Oh, one of the days that I decided not to hop on the scale, I said, okay, I'm not gonna hop on the scale. I'm not gonna look at the number on the scale, but why don't I take my camera out and my phone out? Why don't I take some pictures of myself so I can have pictures of myself feeling good? And I learned that that's not a great way to go either, because it's sort of, I don't know if other people experience this the way I do, if this is a common thing, but there are times where I will look in the mirror and I'll think, oh, you're looking cute. Oh, wow, you look good. Or, oh, you're like, wow, like you look really pretty today, or something, like something really kind to myself. And then I take a photo and I don't understand. I don't understand how there's such a difference between what I see in the mirror and what I see in the photo. They seem like two different people sometimes. So anyways, one of the times I decided not to hop on the scale, within the last week, I decided not to hop on the scale, but I grabbed my phone and I took some photos, and full body photos too, just to be like, hey, this is me feeling good. I looked at the photos and they were almost as hard as it would have been to get on the scale and see the number go up. So that's something that I'm cutting out. If I feel like, wow, you're having a good day, you're really happy with the version of you you're seeing in the mirror right now, like, wow, I'm just gonna take that. I'm just gonna take that as, that's great. And I'm not going to have to get like proof by taking a photo and proving to myself that I love myself and that I look okay and all of that. Like, I think it's, I never really thought about it this way before, but I think that those photos, because I've taken a lot of photos of myself for this reason over the years, and I think that it's just another form of checking. It's another form of checking to see, am I okay? Am I making progress? Am I smaller than I was before? I feel like I look in the mirror and I think maybe my face looks a little bit smaller. Let me take a photo and see if it really looks like my face looks smaller. It's really similar to an unhealthy relationship with the scale. It's very, very, very much the same for me. So that's something also that I have learned this week, which is if I don't feel confident enough, which is fine for me not to feel confident in this, but if I don't feel confident enough to hop on the scale and see where my weight is, don't start taking photos. Don't start breaking out the camera to check to see, especially full body photos. Like, don't start checking to see if I look smaller, if I look, like, better always means thinner in that case. Like, that is just an indication that it's like eating disorder talking to you and talking to me and trying to manipulate me. Like, it's very stealthy. Like, oh, okay, you won't get on the scale today, but why don't you take some photos so you can feel really bad about yourself? So I'm kind of hip to that right now. Anyways, I love you. Be kind to yourself. If you like my content, subscribe, like the video, hit the notification button down below if you want to see when I post or not. Totally up to you. Leave a comment if you have experienced things like this too. Like, is it easy for you to get on the scale every day? Do you do it every day? Do you do it every week? Like, how often do you get on the scale? What's your relationship with the scale? How do you deal with that? I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to like learn from other people as well and have like a conversation going. Be kind to yourself, stay safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. My bathroom light is so much better than the light in the rest of my house. Well,